wanted to talk about how did I become the mayor, especially in 2006. We've changed a lot, and women have come a long way since those years. That was only 13 years ago. But in 2006, I got my first BlackBerry, and I couldn't believe the technology. That's how far we've come with where technology has taken us. So I have a bit of a journey, and I'll share it with you. I'm a Waterloo person, grew up here. My father was self-employed. Mother worked at University Heights. And my father was a feminist in the 60s and would always say to me, you can be whatever you want, Brenda. You go far. You know, don't ever change your name. You are Brenda Halloran, and you stay that woman all your life. So I would be with my dad, checking out the car engines and playing ball with him, and my brothers didn't. And I thought that was great because I got more time with my dad. But I had this really cool dad who really inspired me through my life. Grew up here, had a great life, became a nurse because my mother told me to. In the days that I graduated, yes, I'm from the 60s. I know you can't tell, especially not through these harsh lights that are showing up every wrinkle in my face. I had three options. I could be a nurse, a secretary, or a teacher. That's what kind of the options were for women, right? So my mom, I said, well, I don't know what to do. She wanted to be a nurse. I said, oh, okay. That was my calling into nursing. And I went to Stratford, and all we had to do in Stratford was either drink or go to school, because there were 13 bars, and nobody wanted to go to see the shows in Stratford. That was just too much. So I became a nurse. I couldn't get a job in Canada. I ended up going to Florida because there were jobs for us Canadian nurses there, but I got back within a year and started working in Toronto with emotionally disturbed kids. And I stayed in nursing for about 6 years, and then one beautiful summer day, someone died. I'd been working with seniors, and I just was tired of it, and I thought it was time for a change. So I quit nursing. My parents were devastated, and they said, don't tell anybody. I said, I won't. And I was in Toronto, and so then I got offered a job, and it was probably one of the best jobs I ever had. I was asked to be a carny girl at the CNE. That was the best job ever. So I was in between jobs, and a friend of mine worked a job there, and he said, do you want to take rides or tickets at the Alpine Way ride? And I said, sure. So I still have my Conklin shirt, my carny ID. It was the most amazing experience. Fast forward through life, and I met this person. And I married him. And when I married him, he was not Fred. This is my second one. He's the best. You fail on the first and you win on the second. He's my darling. So I met this man, and he was great and charming and wonderful, and we got married, and we had a child, and he turned out to be an abusive, alcoholic con artist. I wasn't prepared for that, and I couldn't understand why our life was really so topsy-turvy, and money was missing, and whenever I had to pay the mortgage, there was no money in the account because either he dropped his check and somebody stole it, or the bank manager stole our money. I was fed these stories for quite a while. He started becoming abusive to items in the home, and mentally and verbally abusive to me. I've talked about this in the community a lot, and it still is hard to talk about. It makes my throat tight, but I think I need to share this so women know that you may be in a bad situation, but that doesn't stop you from following the dreams that you set for yourself. So I was able to leave him and get rid of him, and at that time my daughter was 2.5 years old, so I had this big house to sell, and I was almost bankrupt, and he was doing some pretty nasty things, and I moved in with my mom and dad. And I got back on my feet, and after 2 years I thought, I'm going to buy a townhouse. So I bought a townhouse on Royal Green Crescent in Kitchener. Now anybody who is older and in my venerable age group might remember the Royal Green saga. We were a bunch of homeowners in Kitchener who lived on a contaminated garbage site. And it was it's not Mount Trashmore, it's right around West Mountain, Ottawa. So I bought this beautiful townhouse, and 2 years later found out it was killing people. And people were dying of cancers. Children were sick. People had leukemias. My house was sinking. It stunk. My daughter was having health issues. And my neighbor came to me and told me this, and I thought, I don't want to deal with this. I just dealt with something really tough, but I had to step up. And that kind of started me on this journey of just not being able to tolerate BS and to stand up for myself. Because if I didn't, nobody else would. Right? You're born into this world by yourself. And as much as people are around you, you only have yourself to lean on and to deal with. Everybody else is okay, and they help you, but you've got to be firm and solid in your belief in yourself and your inner strength. So I found out this wonderful news, and living the dream. I was a single mom working 3 jobs, really struggling, and it was quite a blow to find out that my house now was valueless. It was sinking. It was making myself and my daughter sick. I had to abandon the house because it was really a bad situation. In the meantime, we had formed the Royal Green Homeowners Association. We had launched a $65 million suit against the city of Kitchener, and I became a community activist, not planning it, not wanting to. I just wanted to kind of live my life with my little girl. But life doesn't sometimes end up the way you expected it. So I was thrown into this world of fighting City Hall and standing up for our rights as citizens, and it was a really terribly difficult situation. The book will be coming out someday, but there is a story to tell. So I ended up having to be kind of the person who spoke to city, to speak to government people, and at that time I was working with Revenue Canada, and I was a collections officer, so I was not a nice person really, and I wasn't really intimidated by people in positions of authority or had a name on their card that made them look special. To me, they were just an average Joe, just like me. Didn't matter what their title was. So I wasn't intimidated by it. The only time I was ever intimidated was standing in front of city council with all my neighbors, and my legs and knees were shaking so bad. I thought people could see me shaking, but apparently I hit it well. But it really taught me something about the power of people, and that system is supposed to work for us and with us and be about us. And the system was not doing that for my neighbors and I. We spent years fighting. I lost everything I owned. I had to abandon my house because of my daughter's health, and the foundation had cracked open and the house smelled like chemicals. I had to move back to my mom and dad's in Waterloo, thank God for parents, and I still fought this battle as I was working. In about 2005, my dad was very ill with cancer. Things were getting really tight, really tough, and I met this amazing man who's sitting right over there. We met on lavalife.com, thank you very much. First people to ever probably date from that site. People still say, he could have been a killer, and he wasn't. Who would have figured? So so my father passed away from cancer, and then in 2006, all I could remember is my dad saying to me, honey, you should be in politics, I'll support you, get into politics. And it was always in the back of my mind. So in 2006, oh my God, the time goes by fast. In 2006, the municipal election came along, and I said, I was having lunch with Catherine Fife and Jeanette Frenier, and Catherine Fife was a school trustee at the time, and I was saying, I think I'm going to run for council in Waterloo. She said, why don't you just run for mayor? I said, okay, I'm going to run for mayor. And I came home, and I hadn't spoken to my husband and daughter about it, and I said, okay guys, I have a big day today. Ask me what just happened, or what happened. And I said, I'm going to run for mayor. And my daughter's like, yeah, mom. And Fred said, what? And he supported me 100% behind that. I was told, I went to the municipal school and was told I needed $30,000 to run for mayor, and I had $20, I think $20 we had fundraised, and 6 weeks till the big election. Women from my Zonto Women's Group stepped up, and we fought and raised $11,000. And I was up against 2 gentlemen, one a returning mayor and one a past mayor, and nobody really cared about me. Nobody talked about me. The media completely ignored me. I was on the Jeff Allen show with the 2 other mayors, and when we went in the room, I was positioned behind a plant so he couldn't see me. It was great, and I would have to just peek around. He just called me Barbara Hall the whole time. And I became the mayor, and I won by a landslide. Thank you very much. So I have a lot of stories to tell, but I can always leave you with this thought. So when I became the mayor, a lot of the people who I fought against with my neighbors were still in positions of authority in Kitchener and the region. So I come along and I become the mayor of Waterloo. And you know that song that Elton John sings called The Bitch Is Back? Well, that's what I was doing when I saw them. Bitch Is Back. Thank you. Merry Christmas.